Hello. Hello, I am Doragon, Kishu, Paladin, and Dragon Rider. Welcome to Dragon Riders, a special, doing a little bit of a reading of the beginning of Radiant Citadel. Um, I'm just really excited about this book. I'm homebrew, so I create all my own stuff, but I do buy third-party stuff, and I do buy Wizards of the Coast stuff because it's amazing and it's inspiring, and I'm actually hoping to incorporate some of the Radiant of the Citadel into a new campaign soon. So, alrighty. Well, let me just see who's in here. I don't know if you guys can hear me. Welcome, Alice, Siedra, Serena, Six Flag, Magic Mountain, and yeah. So I will be just reading this in the beginning of it, and uh, it will. I'm also going to be uploading it to my YouTube. If you come across this later on, you're welcome to give replies onto my YouTube copy of this. Uh, Feel free to interrupt me if you guys are out there and you want to talk D&D, but or ask anything about this. I don't know a lot about it right now. I got the special edition cover, which alternate edition or whatever you want to call it. I love the regular cover is awesome too. I just love this though. I really wanted to get this one, so that came into me yesterday. It's a beautiful book. Um, the authors, I believe it's 13 adventures, and the authors are all people of color, um, which is incredible. It's awesome, and I believe it's the first time Wizard of the Coast had done a pure people of color. So I'll leave it at that. And it's a touchy area for everyone. So, but I did think it's pretty amazing, and I'm very excited. I was very excited to be honest with you. This whole Radiant Citadel inspires me, the whole look of it, and I know nothing about any of the adventures or anything. But I'm going to go ahead and start to read this, and I'll keep an eye on the chat to see if anybody pops in here, wants to say hi. But just like I said, this will be on my YouTube too, so people can give me any messages there, and if they're live, they can talk to me in chat. So let's see. All right. Welcome to the Radiant Citadel. In the heart of the ethereal plane lies an ancient and mysterious city called the Radiant Citadel. Through tradition, cooperation, and ancestral magic, 15 civilizations are bound to this wondrous site. Journeys through the Radiant Citadel is an anthology of exciting adventures that explore the cultures and myths of these realms. The adventures and journeys through the Radiant Citadel were created by members of the Dungeons and Dragons community with connections to various real-world cultures and mythologies. Embarking on the adventures of the Radiant Citadel will expand your gaming horizons, can give your characters new perspectives, and might change the way you look at fantasy tropes and traditions. As adventures are the lens through which we explore fantastic worlds, they shape who our characters are and what they believe in. The greater the variety adventures offer, the richer our characters and, by extension, our gaming experiences. From glittering night markets to undersea cities, from curse-afflicted villages to angel-ruled city-states, these adventures provide a pathway to never-before-seen lands and stories. The gates of the Radiant Citadel stand open, and a rich tapestry of stories is yours to explore. Just make sure there's no new people and say hi to. All right. Using the adventures. The journeys through the Radiant Citadel summarizes. Sorry about this. The journeys through the Radiant Citadel table summarizes the adventures in this anthology. Each adventure is designed for 4 to 6 characters of a particular level, but you can adjust it for larger or smaller groups, as well as for characters of higher or lower level by making a few changes. like swapping one monster or trap or another, changing the number of foes in an encounter, or adjusting DCs to make important tasks easier or harder for the characters to accomplish. Just want to check something real quick. Each adventure in this anthology is versatile, and characters might become involved in any of the following ways. The characters have ties to the plot as detailed in the character hooks section in each adventure. The characters have journeyed to the Radiant Citadel, and their connections to individuals or organizations there lead them to investigate the plot. The character hails from the land where the adventure takes place and has a connection to the plot. These short adventures work best with players who like exploring new lands and finding clever solutions to complex challenges. That said, each adventure contains opportunities for exploration, role-playing, and combat to appeal to players of all persuasions. Running the adventures. To run these adventures, you need the 5th edition core rulebooks, Player's Handbook, Dungeon Master's Guide, and Monster Manual. Let's see. This want to be read aloud or just looking at something. Text that appears in a box like this is okay. Text that appears in a box like this, you can't see it, is meant to be read aloud or paraphrased for the players when their characters first arrive at the location or under a specific circumstance as described in the text. The Monster's Manual contains stat blocks for most of the creatures encountered in these adventures. When a creature's name appears in bold type, that's a visual cue pointing you to its stat blocks as a way of saying, hey DM, get this creature's stat block ready. You'll need it. If a stat block is new, the adventure's text tells you where to find it. Spells and equipment mentioned in the adventure are described in the player's handbook. Magic items are described in Dungeon Master's Guide. So this is all general stuff that's probably said at the beginning of any of these books, but I'm reading it anyway. So, and then we'll get to a little bit of the actual place, I think. Exploring new reaches. Each adventure in this book introduces a new location, be it a city, a nation, a region, or otherwise. Before running an adventure, review the gazetter presented at the adventure's end. Aside from, I wonder if that's how you pronounce that, gazetter, Gazetteter. Aside from providing an overview of the people and the plots in that land, each gazetter provides cultural details useful in describing the setting and making it feel vibrant. That's important to me. Like I said, I usually do homebrew, so I really am considering using this book to kind of build a campaign off of. So I really need to, I'm gonna read through it and see what that's like, what it would be to try to like prepare that, because I've never prepared from somebody else's module, only my own. Setting the adventures. The locations in this book can be incorporated into any D&D setting or world of your own design. Each adventure includes a setting the adventure section that suggests where you might place the adventure. Weave these locations into your version of your favorite world, adding them where you like, even replacing other lands on your world map. Let's see here. Alternatively, use the Radiant Citadel, see the following pages, or planes spanning magic to place these locations in entirely new worlds, and use them as the threshold of realms defined how you please. Journeys through the Radiant Citadel. Okay. This talks about the adventures. Yeah, looks like there's 14 adventures. Salted Legacy. So yeah, Journeys through the Radiant Citadel. Okay, this is for the early level. Okay, so it shows the level. Salted Legacy. A conflict between rival night market vendors draws characters into a hunt for a mysterious saboteur in a series of whimsical contests. So if you don't want to know the names of these adventures or what they're about, don't want to watch this part of the video. Okay, next one. Written in Blood. A community in... Okay, so wait a minute. It is 13 adventures, not 14. It's just that the Okay, got it. It's showing level, and they went up to 14th level because the first one was first and second level. Okay. Next adventure, Written in Blood. A community is terrorized by a horror lurking in a distant farmhouse. And next, The Fiend of Hollow Mine. The cure for a spreading curse leads from an abandoned mine to a city celebrating the departed. The next one is Wages of Vice. A murderer stalks the streets during a raucous festival. Ruckus? Next, Sins of the Elders. A slighted spirit takes vengeance on the community that forgot her by stealing their memories. Wow. Next one's Gold for Fools and Princes. Mysterious creatures cause a gold mine to collapse, precipitating a race between rival places to save those trapped. Okay, next one. Trail of Destruction. A legendary creature reawakens and begins a chain reaction of volcanic eruptions that threaten the land. Very cool. In the next one is In the Mists of Manavarsha. A local champion goes missing after a deadly flood, leading to a search for her along the rivers of a vast swamp. That sounds really cool. Next one, Between Tangled Roots. Rageful spirits provoke a dragon to go on a deadly rampage. Okay, welcome to level 10 on that one. Shadow of the Sun. Rival factions clash in an angel-ruled city on the brink of rebellion. I mean, I'm just loving that. I love angels, though. They're very cool. Next one, Night Seas Sakura. A quest for ancient lore reveals threats from the past and leads to a mysterious nation beneath the waves. Oh, yeah, that's just awesome. City underwater, I'm thinking. Next one, Buried Dynasty. Agents of a long-lived emperor seek a timeless secret to keep their ruler in power at any cost. Awesome. And the last one, Orchids of the Invisible Mountain. Adventurers must travel to the Feywild and the Far Realm to prevent otherworldly forces from tearing a land apart. Yeah, so that's the names and descriptions of the adventures in the book. Let's take a peek. Hello, Unclexum. Okay. Yeah, Unclexum, this video will also be available on my YouTube soon. And my YouTube, you can go to my About to find my links as well. I run a personal campaign, which is a level 27 cleric, which has been going on for 4 years, and I also run a Sunday group with friends from Twitter, D&D, and I think they're level 8 or 9. And then I also do professional dungeon mastering. I started that at the end of December. I run a Friday game and a Monday game, but I'm wanting to do a Thursday and Saturday game too, and I'm considering using the Radiant Citadel as a launch off point for maybe my Saturday game or my Thursday game. I'm not sure, but this really interests me. All right. New homes. At your discretion, players can create characters who are from the locations presented in this book. Consider allowing players to review the gazetters of the lands that appeal to them. Each gazetter provides questions you can ask players during character creation to help them create characters immersed in their homeland. Thoughtful introductions. While exploring the locations introduced through these adventures, be thoughtful about how you role play and describe groups of people. Consider the guidance here when running adventures. Broad descriptions. Describe everyone's features, not just those whose features are different from your own. Got it. Detail, not stereotypes. When describing a character's appearance, strive to detail more than just one thing and avoid descriptions based on stereotypes. The more you can say about body types, hairstyle and texture, skin tone, clothes, accessories, and the like, the more dimension a character has. As some societies strongly associate ethnicity with skin color, take extra care when describing characters' skin colors. Consider a range of literal descriptions such as copper, umber, onyx, or ebony, with modifiers such as rich, lustrous, warm, or cool. It's very nice. Gradual explorations. You don't have to reveal a setting's entire culture at once. Skip details that aren't immediately relevant to characters, and reveal details as they arise. A scene in a tavern presents opportunities to introduce distinct foods, while a market trip is a great time to note varieties of dress. Highlight what's familiar. Highlight what's familiar in a culture and how it's like other locations. This can help characters ground their experiences and better understand where they're visiting. Online and streamed games. Just as you don't have to breathe fire in real life to play a Dragonborn in D&D, you don't need to be from the cultures that inspired the adventures in this book to play characters from them. However, take care to portray characters as three-dimensional people with relatable desires and fears. One person's culture isn't another's costume. If you dress up, simple outfits are best. Avoid leaning into stereotypes or clothing with real-world religious significance. Instead, focus on everyday wear from the cultures you're exploring. Don't change your skin color, alter your features, or emulate hairstyles you wouldn't normally have to appear like a different real-world ethnicity. Similarly, avoid mocking real-world accents in your roleplay. Avoid mocking them. Yeah, I kind of avoid mocking my whole life. I was a shy kid, and school was rough. Not as rough as for others, but I missed a lot of school, and I was shy, so that was they weren't too friendly. All right. And then we'll read this. Let's see. The Radiant Citadel, gathering place of strangers and stories. Against the unending mist and unseen terrors of the ethereal plane, the Radiant Citadel stands bright as a bastion of hope. It's a living relic of the ingenuity and collaboration of 27 great civilizations. Abandoned and lost for ages, the Citadel was resurrected from its slumber and reclaimed by descendants of those societies, though some peoples remain missing. The city serves as a nexus of diplomacy and trade, a repository. I'll look up the meaning of that one. Repository, a repository of histories and secrets, and a thriving sanctuary for those seeking safety or a better life. I'm going to look up repository now. Why not? Okay. May sounds familiar. A place, building, or receptacle where things are or made to be stored. A place which something, especially a natural resource, has accumulated. Ah, yeah, right. Okay. Where it is found in significant quantities. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Got it. I remember that word. All right. Let's find where I was really quick. The Radiant Citadel is a miracle of architecture, a floating city carved out of a single massive fossil that snakes around a colossal gemstone. It's just amazing. Shard, known as the auroral diamond. I call it diamond, but I think it's just diamond. The luminescence of the auroral diamond is. Sorry about that. The luminescence of the auroral diamond is mirrored in the constellation of 15 structure-sized gemstones, the Concord jewels, which orbit the city and provide transportation to the far-flung homes of the Citadel's founding civilizations. That's cool. In the haze of the ethereal plane, the auroral diamond is a scintillating beacon visible from leagues away. The diamond itself seems to have moods, changing colors, unpredictability, but it is always visible for wanderers. lost in need. Just beyond the city whirls a massive, ever-threatening ethereal cyclone known as the Keening Gloom, a looming threat that's a grim reminder of the Citadel's precarious position. Heroes and paupers meet on equal footing in the Radiant Citadel. By common agreement, power and resources are equitably shared. Dignity is afforded to all, and great need is met with great aid. Whenever I read these Wizards of the Coast books, I always end up wanting to be a player because I'm just like, I want to go here. But I just feel like with the Radiant Citadel, I really think I should make this one come to life. I think I should. I have a lot of books that I've not read because I keep wanting. I read them and I'm like, oh, I want to be a player, even if I have to give away the book and let somebody run it. But it doesn't really happen. So the books have gathered. I may even start to do some giveaways on those because I don't like books just sitting there, even though it's cool to have a library. All right, features. Those familiar with Radiant Citadel know the following details. Oh, so maybe it must have existed before this new book then. Those familiar with the Radiant Citadel know the following details. Hallmarks. The Radiant Citadel is an extraplanar refuge known for its collaborative society and ecological beauty. Local traditions of oral storytelling preserve ancestral wisdom from many worlds. Just amazing. People of the Radiant Citadel. The majority of the Radiant Citadel's populace come from the civilizations that govern the city. This makes the population an ethnically diverse mix of humans, dragon-born dwarves, elves, gnomes, and halflings, along with a variety of other races. Languages. Common is widely known, along with dozens of other languages. Noteworthy sites. Hold on a second. Peeking if anybody else joined us. All right. Noteworthy sites. The Radiant Citadel is a testament to a lost age of extraordinary magic and mythical beasts. The city rises from a gargantuan fossil, and every road and building has been carved from it. Well, Citadel is a place of beauty and wonder, with a vast array of vegetation and a multitude of sights and inhabitants. Auroral Diamond. The auroral diamond is the heart of the Radiant Citadel, a massive gemstone of unfathomable power. Its life-giving magic runs through the entire city. The city's vegetation, water, light, and unique artifices depend on the diamond. The auroral diamond changes color for unknown reasons. Sometimes it holds a color for an entire year, while other times it shifts twice in a single week. That's just amazing. Probably prepare that ahead of time, like, have a calendar and just mark when it changes. Rarely does it ever repeat a color. Interesting. Some scholars believe each color represents the birth of a new civilization somewhere in the multiverse, and repetition of a color means the death of that civilization. Other scholars hypothesize the changing colors are a countdown to some unknown event. The auroral diamond is indestructible. Whatever magic hollowed out the gemstone's center and created the preserve of the ancestors described later is unknown. Yeah, so I think we'll stop there for now. I might, continue reading this though. But I just want to start out with that. Really fascinating, really interesting, and a beautiful, beautiful cover. But I'm very curious about the Radiant Citadel. Feel like I said, if you're getting this video, you're probably not in the live thing here. So if you watch this later on my YouTube or if you see it here on Twitch, feel free to go to my YouTube or you can go to my Twitter and message me and things like that. But if you have any comments or thoughts, I may continue reading this. I need to read it. I know that, and I thought it might be fun to just do it with people. So, but I will call this for this session, and I appreciate you checking out Dragon Rider's reading of the beginning of the Radiant Journeys of the Radiant Citadel, And yeah, thanks again, and have a great weekend and day, and play D&D.